to originate Jake's decision as a boss on to the inside. The attendant, he was an old man, and you know he didn't think it very funny. When Petula pulled out that great big gun, said, honey, give me all your money. Well, the old man opened up the cash drawer, and Jake grabbed the money and ran. With Petula out the door to the big chopped holler that was parked on the center kickstand. Then they headed out for the 4-lane, and they thought it was lots of fun. With Jake on his hog, with Petula the dog, with the automatic 45 gun. Jake, he thought it was the best there was, cause down the interstate he saw, till the day he tangled with the county sheriff, who they all call 104. The old man didn't think of it.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com, and thank you.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. From our compound, from the West Coast to the East Coast to worldwide, both on the internet and terrestrial radio, you're listening to Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark.
And we are back. We're talking to Michael. Hey, Michael, also, you have, besides playing music, it looks like you're a very talented artist also.
Oh, if you're talking about my crystal work, that's part of, the NSA. When I met the Anunnaki, they were already working in technology transfer programs, or they call them TTPs, with our government and shadow, secret groups. So simultaneously, when I was brought into the fold of it's called the ACIO, Alien Contact Interface Organization. They told me that I was being taken into pretty much like a ET classroom of to learn all about cosmic harmonious frequencies. And that education, not only is it physical, because I have all the learning material from the ACIO that I was given, but I also started to begin communication with this intelligence through crop circles, and it was all guiding me into the most cosmic harmonious frequency, which is the frequency of light, which is 432 hertz. What you find out is, everyone knows about E equals MC squared. Well, now scientists now know through quantum physics that everything is both particle and wave simultaneously. So that's just the particle part of the equation. It's right there. M equals mass. E equals MC squared. E is energy, M is mass, and C is the speed of light squared. Well, what you find is 432 hertz squared becomes C. It becomes the speed of light. Then squared times mass equals energy. So that led to my creation of these, I call them Anunnaki energy discs. And do you know who Richard Hoagland is?
Oh, yes. I had Richard on my show, and I was a good friend of Art Bell, so I know of Richard.
Oh, right on.
Real well.
Yeah, he was a hero of mine growing up. Like, when I needed answers, like, Spirit brought me, Richard Hoagland presentations on VHS, So I was really tickled when he asked me to be on his radio show. But because of this, he said, we know your story sounds crazy to most other people. He said NASA has been working on how energy works multidimensionally for a very long time. He called it hyperdimensional physics.
Yes.
And he said, your numbers happen to be right on the money, and we know it. So he arranged for a NASA biophysicist to look into my work, and it's kind of historic. They found that will revitalize. I'm talking about using one of those discs, which obviously you've seen them now. You just use one as a coaster, and you could take, what they found was, we don't even know this, but water is truly alive and it has memory. And what we're doing to it by putting chlorine and fluoride and sending it down long miles of pipes, we're killing it. So under their equipment, they can see how much photonic energy is within a water droplet. And municipal tap water is nearly dead. It's just the tiniest little speck of light. But after 15 minutes on one of these discs, it's turned into a supernova of light within the water molecule. So that was interesting to me, because I asked the biophysicist, I said, well, wait a minute. If there was no energy, but now there's more energy, and a lot more energy, where's that energy coming from? Is it from our solar system, and our sun and our planets? And she said, no, it's coming from another dimension. It's like actually opening a hole through the fabric of our space-time and bringing through energy from another dimension. That really, toasted my noodle. I was like, what's it mean to be drinking water that has energy from another dimension in it, But truly, it's a miracle for this planet to be able to revitalize our drinking water. And the effects on our health is mind-blowing. It's doing things I never even... First of all, when I was just following their guidance, I had no idea it would revitalize water. Even though, when I met the Anunnaki, they told me, we were once known as the Anunnaki in your past, and you were once known as the water bearer. I was like, what the heck does that mean, But now I get it. I guess I am the water bearer. Thank you for taking a look. I'm very proud of... not only are they actual functioning ancient technology, but they're beautiful works of art in themselves. It's I hire scientists from... There's a new... are you familiar with cymatics?
Vaguely.
What it is a new science that makes the invisible visible. For the first time, it shows you what geometry is being created through frequency. It's truly a big vat of water, and they pump frequency through it, and they have high-tech cameras that can record what's happening on the surface of the water. So I hired them to image my guitar, recorded it at my studio, but I was meticulous, and using this knowledge I learned from the Anunnaki to make sure the sound file I sent them was tuned properly. And they got back to me. They said, listen, we've used this technology to image everything, like every frequency known to man, and even not only frequencies, but there's a stereo input. So if you want to see what your new baby noises look like, you can... They will present you with a very high-tech... It's about a 4K resolution image that I got from them. But once I got that, I had been guided into creating what's called Pleiadian healing discs, and that's what you're looking at on my website. If people want to look into this, it's www.michaelleehill.net, and you can see what we're talking about. But so I took that image from the scientists, and then I encased it in quartz crystal glass, and then it has a copper wrap, and truly, it's kind of a miracle. The world's best biophysicists now are kind of freaking out over it, because that device doesn't have any batteries. There's no wires going to it, yet it's truly a unlimited free energy device.
Interesting. How long does it take you to produce each one of those?
I've got the process down. They're still very labor intensive, but I'm Native American Indian. I'm Seneca of the Iroquois tribe, and I've been brought into the Star Knowledge family, which Chief Golden Light Eagle, he's been on Ancient Aliens many times, and he started a conference he said Spirit told him that the Native American Indian elders and chiefs are now open to share their contact with star people, that for thousands of years, so he's taken me under the wing of them. But we can get into that because the Native American Indian tribes house this intelligence behind this UFO phenomenon happening worldwide. Their hybrid bloodline comes in through the Native American Indians, which is in the process of being revealed to the world. I actually did just last month. I did an interview with the Canadian Public Broadcasting System, and they're also coming to the Human Origins Conference, which is starts April 2nd. And so things are unfolding in a big way of who the Native American Indians truly are. And did that answer the question?
Yeah, it did. I got to ask you a question. Elders of your tribe, what do they think is going on with our Earth right now? With the Earth changes and all this stuff that's going on. Like I said, Art was a friend of mine who, passed away recently. And I miss my conversations with him. But, he talked to some elders like a few times. And, some of his guests, were in various tribes, like one was a medicine man. And some of the stuff that the elders of some of the tribes were saying, it was rather scary.
Yeah, we need to learn to become better caretakers of this beautiful planet. We're not doing a very good job. Like, I was just horrified to see, I don't like talking politics, but the fact that President Trump just rolled back all the laws for protecting water. I was like, man, if people only understood how important water is, and the fact that it is alive and it does have memory, the fact that we're destroying this planet's water, and no doubt about it, it gets into the municipal tap system, and then we drink that water and it gets recycled over and over. And Dr. Emoto, are you familiar with him?
Oh, yes.
With the water, he proved the water has memory, and it's recording human thought form. So what Dr. Emoto found was, if you say, I hate you, or you can't do that, and you tape those words to a glass, as the water molecule is frozen and crystallizes, it will look like sludge, but if you say, I love you, I'm grateful, tape that to the exact same glass of water. As it freezes, it makes perfect snowflake geometry. So interestingly enough, though, the people who actually have the knowledge to make this planet green again and to help us get through this phase is the Native American Indians. So, people need to become aware, though, that, the largest genocide on this planet happened to our people. Some people have the numbers up to 100 million. And, people don't know this, but the use of smallpox infested blankets, it wasn't coincidence. They knew that the Native American Indians, First Nations, had no immunity because smallpox is from herding cattle. And since the Europeans did that for a very long time, they had immunity, whereas Native American Indians didn't herd cattle and keep it like that. So there was no immunity. So it was on purpose, to hand out by our government to Native American Indians who house this bloodline, which, I am not religious in any typical way, but the fact of the matter is, this bloodline we're talking about is the Holy Grail Sangreal bloodline. And the oldest version of the Ten Commandments was found in Newark earthworks in Ohio, out of one of these mound sites, not Egypt. And overall, the first menorah was a mound here in I'm saying here in Ohio. It's like I still live there. But there's a lot that's going to be revealed with all this because the Native American Indians know all this. They know that they're the hybrid bloodline of the Anunnaki or the ancient aliens, whatever you want to call them. To them, it's not any question. But I'll tell you, man, it's to the point that the intelligence they have, one of the grandmothers said